Looks like the mainstream manufacturers are finally getting into the e-scooter market. We already had Bajaj, and then recently Honda brought the electric version of the Activa, and now we have the electrified Axis. The Suzuki e-Axis is with us. We have been riding it on a go-kart track, curiously, but I have very less time to tell you how it is to ride on this track. So without any further ado, let's begin quickly. Okay, so as I said, I have very less time, but I must remind you to please subscribe because that is an important thing to tell you. Now, moving on to the scooter, I won't talk about the design too much. You have seen it at the Auto Expo earlier, but I will say that in person, I really like the design of these 12-inch alloys. It's very well done. And the other thing which I really like is that the seat, while it's nice and comfortable for two people, it has this very nice feature wherein you can have a one-handed operation. So you hear the click, and now I leave it, and the seat is just like that. So if you have to take something out, or if you have maybe a grocery bag, you won't have to keep holding it up and then put things in. Now the cavity here is just 17 liters and it's only going to fit some smaller half-face helmets, so not a big helmet there, but you can still keep some nicks and knacks in here, and that is going to do it for this. Although you have a cavity up front that can also store maybe your phone, and there is also a USB charging port there. Now if you're wondering how to close this, well, all you have to do is push it, you hear that click, and then down it goes. Now this commuter scooter comes with a keyless system, so there is a wireless key, and once you have it, you can come here and use this multifunction dial. So what you have to do is first press it, then if you want to start it, all you have to do is twist it to the right, it will switch on. But if you twist it to the left, then it will open up the seat, and if you press and twist it to the right, it will open up this charging port. And now is a good time to remind you that using a standard charger, it charges to 100% in about 6.5 hours, but it also supports DC fast charging, which means that you can completely charge it in about 2 hours and 10 or 20 minutes. And if you go 0 to 80, that is super quick at about 1 hour and 10 or 20 minutes or so. So that is the charging. Now, if I come to the screen, if you come closer, I'll show you that the scooter, if I switch it on, so there you can see I can switch it on, and you have this 4.2-inch digital instrument cluster. Has a pretty typical Suzuki-like design, and if I press this button along with the brake, now the scooter is ready and it's engaged. So you will see a lot of things. So if you come closer, I'll show you that you have a lot of things here, including your obviously speedometer. So you have 3 riding modes: Eco, then you have the Ride A and Ride B. Right now we are in Ride B. It shows you your trip meter, and I can use these buttons to cycle between more information like distance to empty and how much charge you're consuming instantaneously and on average as well. And it also shows you your battery charge percentage. If you have your phone connected, those indicators are also there. Right now we don't have, but I think this is quite a nice instrument cluster for a commuter scooter like this. It's not very complicated. Yes, it does not have any touch screens or any fancy graphics, but I still think this is quite a utilitarian and quite a functional unit. Okay, so how is the e-Axis to ride? Well, honestly speaking, I would have loved to ride this in the city so that I can see how this commuter scooter fares against the potholes and the city traffic. But you know what? I am actually kind of surprised by how good this scooter felt on a go-kart track and how well I was able to judge it. The first thing I would like to mention is that the throttle calibration is just amazing. It's probably one of the best. It is not jerky, does not have any erratic behaviors, and it performs just the way you would want it to, and feels very much like it's a beginner friendly scooter. So that I really like. And even the brakes, I would say I really like the response of them. The front disc has a very nice feel to it. I was able to do one finger braking as you would want on a track. So that ways it fared really well, and even the rear brakes have a decent amount of bite. It does come with combi brake system, but you can still lock the rear if you push hard enough, as I did for testing purposes. But for all intents and purposes, the way it goes, it can definitely stop in time. The top speed for this scooter is 71 kilometers an hour, and if you're in the eco mode, that drops down to 55, which I think is pretty decent. In the eco mode I was riding, and I did not feel like it was too lethargic. Now granted, because we were on the track, I did not ride in the eco mode for long, but in the ride modes it does feel really good. Now the difference between the Ride A and Ride B modes is that you get the full power, but the regen is different. So in Ride A, the regen is a lot stronger, and in Ride B, it's a lot more relaxed. So when you coast, it won't kick in that quickly. But I think the Ride A mode is very good for city usage, and 71 kmph, while it's not the quickest scooter out there, but if you want something for shorter commutes, then I think this will definitely suffice. And it is meant for shorter commutes because the claimed range itself is 95 kilometers. We haven't been able to test it today for obvious reasons, but my guess is that the actual figure will be a little bit less. Now, Suzuki does claim that because this has a LFP battery, as you ride it, it faces less degradation and faces less loss of charge. So that means that your actual range should be closer to what the claimed range is. But again, once we get the scooter for longer, that is only when we'll get to know the answer to that question. The reason why it has a shorter range is because it has an LFP battery, which are not as energy dense as NMC batteries, which we see in other scooters. So that's why the claimed figure is not that great. But on the plus side, the LFP batteries can operate in a wider range of temperature, have a longer life, and are more safe. Not that the NMC batteries are not, but this is safer. Now, one thing which I really wanted to test was the suspension setup on this. And while there were some speed breakers here, but they were too sharp and it did not allow me to accurately judge how well the suspension system works. But from what I can tell, I think this is a little bit on the softer side, so it should be pretty comfortable. Now, full testing will happen on the road, but what I did realize was that the tire grip is amazing. So through the corners while braking, it just gives you a lot of grip, it just gives you a lot of confidence, which is great no matter if you're riding on the track or out on the road. Now, overall, I think I am quite impressed with what Suzuki has brought in the e-Axis. It's exactly what I thought it would be, a well thought out, well engineered product from a manufacturer that has decades and decades of experience in making two-wheelers, and very good two-wheelers. The throttle calibration, the braking, the tires, all I really like, and it even looks pretty nice, and the fitting finish is also pretty good. Now, I'm sorry I'm not able to bring you all the nitty-gritty details about this scooter because we had a very short amount of time with this scooter for shooting and for riding. So make sure that you're subscribed to our channel so that when we get the scooter for a longer period of time, then you will know that our review is out, and that will have a lot more juicy details. And if you want to know something more, do put those questions in the comments. We will try to answer them when we get the scooter for the full review. This is all for now. Oh, wait, I think I forgot something. What is it? Price. Maybe Suzuki also forgot about it because we've seen the scooter for a long while, but the price is not out yet. Now, this is a good product, but the price can make or break it. We've seen with the Activa that the pricing was not great, even though the scooter was decent. This, I think, is a little better made. So a good pricing is very crucial for this, and I do hope that Suzuki prices it aggressively closer to the 1 lakh rupee mark because of the specs and what you are getting. Yes, it is going to ride a whole lot better, but then again, it's a very competitive market and Suzuki needs to price this aggressively for this to succeed, and I hope that they do. With that, I shall take your leave for now. Make sure that you are safe and following all the rules when you're out on the road while driving or riding. Bye-bye.